I'm Margaret Ann Windsor, and I was kidnapped in 41, born in 39, and brought to Moulton, Alabama, where my identity was stolen, and I was given the name of a twin. Peggy and Carl, both twins, were killed by their mother. They were born out of wedlock, and they gave me Peggy's name, and that's how I grew up. I remember that people when they first switched me from Peggy, they killed her about a week or 2 weeks before I was brought there. I was kidnapped and brought there, so this was planned. And they had connections. One of the relatives there who was at least gave some attempt to help when I started putting all this up on YouTube and Facebook, because what's left of that Dempsey family, nothing against the it's just one that's left, one daughter, that was sister to Lina, mother of the twins. They kept this a secret. If the truth's ever known, they tried to kill me, a couple of sisters. They may have tried more than once, but it's how they tried to kill me. Okay, so they're dead. The twins are dead. Nothing ever told about them, and nothing ever prosecuted about the ongoing horrible crimes done to me and my sons, Mark and Scott, who I hope are alive and well somewhere. Now, I wanted to try to tell this, how these were done in patterns. And you get into the Bible, and I am not a Bible scholar, so bear that in mind. When I started doing this book in 76, I had no idea. The Freemasons I'd heard of, because Lina Dempsey, mother of the twins, was a Freemason, and it was closed. When she went, people couldn't, you know how secretive they are. Well, they're the Illuminati, your mafia, your corporations that own everything, etc., etc. But I mean, the rest of them, a lot of them are poor, just like the Dempseys. So it's a collective group that's taken over the world, according to the Bible and prophecies. There's one I can't tell, and I won't, because I just don't know if it's true or not. I believe it's the only thing that makes sense, and it certainly seems to be. And I'm not trying to be secretive. There was a really nice lady that left a comment, and I wish I could explain, but I can't. But I'm going to try to tell about the Illuminati took over after they took my father down, and the treaties that were signed are illegal, but it allowed the United States to come in. And I want to say I'm very aware of my own, some of my own people there. My Uncle George became a part of my kidnapping, had taken down his own brother, who never married Wallace Simpson. He was married to Claudia Ruth O'Keefe Windsor, and she was Queen of England. This is how Howard they are. And I was kidnapped, born in 39, kidnapped in 41. Now, I keep giving that in case there's some people that's new that watch this. Anyway, let me just say this, and then I'm going to what I meant to say. Put up here, Wallace Simpson married a double in 37, an imposter. There was more than one, and the imposters were out doing behavior that was attributed to my father, which was really ludicrous. And today, history has not been corrected. They still use my father's name, Edward the Eighth, as abdicating, and all these scenes that he wasn't even in. He was married to my mom, a good man. He wouldn't take orders from this bunch of hoodlums, mafia. And JFK helped to my kidnapping. His father was specifically put as ambassador to England by Franklin Delano Roosevelt to take down my father. And then I was born. Who would think? My parents were older. Well, I was, and there was papers drawn up that they forced my father out. It was illegal. But if he had an heir, the heir would inherit. And I was born Victoria II. I am the legal monarch. Elizabeth's a traitor. She works for the Illuminati. Can you believe that people bow down to this woman? I'm going to turn this around now. Try to. And I want to get this up, though. I'm going to switch gears here because I want to get this in. I started doing the books, these about mind control. Never knew chipping or me writing about putting it in heart bypasses and you could control. In fact, I've already told that, though. It's weird how it connected. I worked for the doctors, and they knew I was doing the book and Xeroxing it on their Xerox machine. I worked for them a year, and I have to say I liked them. But then I left to try to finish the book. I'd gone back to work trying to get money to finish it. And then now I'm trying to, well, it's a lot more. They tried to bomb my car. I say try or make it look like it. They scared me to death. One copy of my book was under the seat in my car. I went out the next morning to get in it, and it was shavings. They'd done that with the key to get in the car and shavings, and then I got in, and the ignition was shaved, and I thought, my God, I don't know. I thought, well, then it might be a bomb. And I looked under the seat, but the book was there. They'd done something with the seat. They did steal something out. There was a stereo in there. To be honest with you, I think the book was still there. So I thought, why did they do this? Anyway, I called the cops out, Smyrna Police Department out. They were really nice, and they came out. I think they had the bomb vehicle there. And come find out a little after they left, and I'm getting off base here on something else. It's not really something else, but later that day after the police left, I learned that right around the street from us, there had been a car that had been done like mine, and it was stolen. I don't remember, all about that, but I thought it was quite odd that, but anyway, I'm going to not get a lot. This was about the book, and I've gotten off on that. I don't know why I had to tell that. Anyway, the patterns of the murders. So these were deliberately done, and the Illuminati controls your press. So you tell me, the ones they focus on are the ones that are done in patterns. In fact, I sit down at the police department in Bedford some years ago, next door, Virginia, where the Enzorings and Elizabeth Haysom, those murders happen, and they're in prison, and they're innocent. They were done in patterns. But, I'm trying to hold this up. I get my nose, and from here up's about it. Let me try to focus here. I'm tired, and this place is getting to me. Something's got to give, really. But anyway, they put me deliberately in this spot in the hallway, long hallway, a little bench. Behind me was, it's bigger than this TV. If you turned upside down, it was about twice that on the wall, up and down. And I sit there and I looked at it and I looked back, and it had all these small pictures of people wanted by the FBI and had some of their names and captions underneath. I knew nothing about them. I stood there and looked at them, and I wondered why they had sent me there. I didn't know anything about those. I do know about the ones I'm telling and put up here. Some of them, all you have to do is take it into court, and immediately people have to see it into court to do something. Or the Illuminati who have covered up about me, but they're putting up these crimes. And I'm not saying each and every one they put up, but the ones like Ventura, the ones I put up, the James Holmes and the Virginia Tech next door to me, was mind control, done in patterns. Now, where am I going with this? Scott Peterson was one. He's on death row. Amber Fry, the word Amber was used in there, other than Scott. Scott's my son's name, and they've used his well, I won't mention his attorney, I don't guess. He had a good attorney. He did the best he could, and he's good. Mark Garrigus. Well, Mark is my other son's name. The unborn child that he was convicted of, his wife Lacey and unborn child Connor. Well, Connor was unborn. I'm not laughing. It's so preposterous. Okay, if I fast forward, I'll lose you because you won't connect. But all I can do is put it up here in case one day it is. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and fast forward way up here. The Amber was Amber Alert. Amber Fry was the one that was supposed to be the girl that got him away from Lacey, which was a bunch of crap. I mean, mind control was used in it. Scott Peterson is probably one of the nicest people you could ever meet. Recently, there's been the Watts fella that was very similar to the Scott Peterson, in that he supposedly loved his wife and all this, but he had this affair a few months ago, and he goes out and kills his wife, who has an unborn son, his two daughters, and puts them in tanks of gas or something, petroleum, and buries her out right in the field. I mean, this sounds, I don't remember the names, so I know, but I can't really say that that was a mind control murder, but I certainly believe it was. I'll just leave that blank. This is going to go off. What I wanted to get up was the Scott retirement home. I mean, I can't get a place to live. It's in Clifton Forge, Virginia, a really small town out from Roanoke, about, I don't know how many miles, 60 maybe? I don't know. Yeah, probably. Anyway, 3 years ago, there was a situation created to where some of my money was stolen. I couldn't pay the rent. And it was blatantly stolen from someone I trusted. And I won't get into all that. But the thing is, I ended up trying to go up the Appalachian Trail. I had stayed away from there because I've gotten such bad health. And I did go up it, and I'm going to leave what happened to me. It's on Mountain Pass Road up the old trail to a hiker's shelter where I used to stay. This is on Mountain Pass, and across the street is the Crawfords. That's their name, as in Crawford, Texas, where the Bush, the president, the younger president, just bear with me, please, putting all this up, lived in Crawford, Texas, I believe. You can check that out. Anyway, I'm not going to go anything else about the Crawfords, but down the street, I didn't know it, this woman who comes up on the trail, and they have put, and I'm not going to put what they had, somebody that bought the house next door on the trail, had bought a house there, and they actually let me know they were doing it. They were using the substance that just ripped my guts apart. And I pulled stuff up trying to keep my things in trash bags and pulling it, and there was no water, and I got trying to carry water, and I got up to the one spot. I had to move 2 or 3 times. This is illegal for them to do it. To come up in there, they actually followed me up, like trailing me, making me run with this, pulling my stuff, putting the tent up. I put it up finally on rocks and leaves. There could have been snakes in it. It was right by the kind of creek. I know this is not going up. I'm trying to watch it. I fell 4 times, and I busted this. I thought I busted the whole arm rotary, and it still hurts. It really does. And this one. And I'll tell you what happened then. This is a couple, 3 days or 4 days I was there, trying to wait till I got money because it had been stolen and I couldn't pay rent. So now then, and this is where I used to go all those years, or go up the trail this way. So I'm there, and up comes this lady, and she's got a dog named Colby. Now, I can't go back and give you background on all this. This is the life I've led, and I've told you the truth. Colby, as in the CIA director, Colby, that was murdered. He was in canoe and supposedly drowned. And there's a lot of that happened. When that happened, some stuff happened to me just down the street from where I was when she came up with the dog Colby. Arcadia. People around here will certainly know. Um, yeah. But anyway, she stopped and talked to me a little bit, and then she came. How'd that happen? She came back and gave me her phone number or something. Anyway, what she did was I know what she did. I had to go to the rescue mission then. And she did, it seems like she's being nice. And she kept my bags and stuff. And I went there and stayed a week and a half or something. And it was all planned. They had me going out to Scott Hill. Now, mind you, all these retirement have been federally funded. HUD. This is illegal. What they are doing to me is horrible. Okay, I ended up, and I'm going to leave out how they were so sweet to me and all this, and got me out to Scott Hill. The Scott is the word using, and what they do till they get me out there. It's in patterns. So now then, I stayed there, and I put it up. I'm going to leave it there. I left and went back because I thought they'd fix the stuff. They didn't. So now then I'm back up here, and the same thing, living in motels because they've corrupted and, I mean, they've got me a mess. If you did a background check, you wouldn't get any of the truth, not even my name. I'm hoping this is not going to go up, and I'm going to have to do two, and I'm so tired. I don't need to be having this in my hand, this camera. It's going numb all the time. Anyway, I had fallen, remember, and they were nice to me at the rescue mission this time. There's times in the past that they weren't, believe me. And anyway, they were nice to me then. So I got back from Scott Hill, and this is costing me money, and I went back to the very same place, the motel I had been when this was all planned, orchestrated. Now then, I lived there, and I'm going to skip what went on. I was supposed to go out to Richfield, and you have to get them into court. You have to get them into court. They're afraid of all this. They'd rather I just die and disappear, and maybe all this would go away. It won't. So where am I now? We've used the Scott Hill. Now I want to go back to this woman, and I know I'm going to have to go to another video. I called her to get my things back, okay, that she was keeping in the trash bags and all that. So her name was Angela Queen. Come to find out, I didn't know her name was Queen, as in me, the Queen of England's been running up and down the old trail here in front of the Crawfords, up to Full Heart Knob Shelter, and on all points in between, just trying to live, freezing, starving. People told not to help me. So anyway, she brings my stuff back to the motel, and then she invites me over to her home. I get to her home, and she's got this beautiful home just about 2 blocks down from where I met her at the old trail I used to go up, and her name is Angela Queen. They have, I didn't know all this at first. She had 2 daughters the daughters were biological sisters, and I didn't know this at first, their names. And she had 2 children of her own, her and her husband, a girl and a boy, but their names I don't think meant anything. But I found out, I thought Queen. Anyway, I found out that this home, which is absolutely 2-story, gorgeous trees which they started cutting down for the fireplace, which really upsets me. People can cut trees down like that. Anyway, they're enjoying a good life. They have cars, they have food, people over. And